Good morning, everyone. This is Dewey's update for October 26, 2020. Today's topic, printer-friendly and print-friendly. Sounds a little confusing, but I'm going to see if I can clarify. Printer-friendly is an old familiar term used to describe a web page specially formatted for printing. I'll explain. Web pages are not normally printer-friendly. They contain ads, sidebar content, and so forth that you don't want to see in a saved or printed copy. So what's the solution if you'd like to print or save a clean copy of a web article that's not printer-friendly? Well, the answer, my friend, is printfriendly.com. Printfriendly.com. I'd like to thank Byron Nate, a frequent Tech for Seniors attendee, for telling me about printfriendly.com nearly 6 years ago. And I should also mention that our co-host Ron Brown is familiar with Print Friendly because I told him about it maybe 3 or 4 years ago, and he tells me that he uses it often to strip the junk out of content that he puts into his Tech for Seniors and Silvercom Computer and Technology Club emails. Well, anyway, going on. Here's how Print Friendly works, whether you're using a PC, Chromebook, or Mac. Number 1, select the URL of the web article you'd like to print or save. 2, use Control+X to copy and cut the URL. This means you're copying the URL, but then deleting it. Mac users do Command+X. 3, in the now blank URL window, type in printfriendly.com and hit enter. 4, in Printfriendly's URL window, do Control+V to paste that URL into it and then click on preview. Use Command and +V if you're on a Mac. Print Friendly now displays a printer-friendly page that you can copy into a word processing app for saving, editing, or printing as you desire. In the event I've lost you, I'll exit PowerPoint now to demonstrate the steps. Here's I did a series of screenshots to help you understand. A couple of weeks ago, I ran into an article called "What's the Difference Between Chromecast and Google TV?" It was in a periodical called, or a publication I get every so often, called How to Geek. And I was piqued, my interest was piqued by this title because Ron Brown had talked about Chromecast and Google TV just recently, mentioning that Chromecast now has a remote control, and Google is using Google TV, a term that they used once before, but now it's used differently. And on top of it, the two are related, Chromecast and Google TV. Well, anyway, please note that above the black bar where it says How to Geek is the URL line, and it shows https://www and so forth. Now, we're going to go on and I'm going to show you some more screenshots. Here is step 1. We highlight or select the text in that URL window. Now, we've gotten rid of it, so the window is now blank. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to type in printfriendly.com. When you've done it a few times, it'll appear like it does in your browser, like it does here, so that you can just click on that and don't have to even type the whole term out. Now, here is the opening screen of printfriendly.com. It has a little advertisement at the top about earwax. They got to pay the bills. And then down below it says, make any web page print-friendly in PDF. And there's a little window that says, copy and paste a URL and click preview. So I'll show you what that looks like. Here we've copy and pasted the How to Geek web address. And when we click preview, we get this. We get a special window that has this on Print Friendly that has the entire article stripped free of ads and unwanted content. Now, you could just read it here, but you may want to save it and even print it. So what I do is I just click on the white space to the right of where it says Google TV there at the top of the article, and it comes out like this after you selected it. The entire article is selected, so you can just now do a Control-C and paste it into an awaiting Microsoft Word blank page. And this is what it looks like. So now I can tell you that this, you can't see it all, but this article is taking up 5 pages because all the graphics are full size. And once you get through editing it and take out unnecessary graphics and reduce some other graphics in size, it's possible to get this down to about 2 or 3 pages. Now, next week, I'm going to review the steps in using printfriendly.com and show you the awesome power of Microsoft Word in editing a document like this. Well, thanks a lot. This has been fun, and I hope you've enjoyed learning about printfriendly.com.
All right. Well, the next session that we're going to spend some time with now is on browser hijackers or browser redirects. This week, we had a little kerfoo at home here. My wife got she was on the computer and she was doing some stuff, and when I came upstairs, she says, she says, I think I really screwed up my program. And I said, well, what'd you do? And she had a browser redirect on her computer. She had shut it down and put it back up and turned it back on. And of course, it took it right back to the same page. So what I did is I said to Bob, I said, Bob, you and I should really do a little talk on browser redirects or hijackers, browser hijackers. And Bob's got a clip on browser hijackers, which we're going to play. And then I'm going to get a little clip on browser redirects. The most important takeaway from what we're going to tell you is most of these will send you to some sort of page that will want to sell you something. And most often they're going to sell you probably something for computer support, such as you've got a virus on your system, or it's from Microsoft or something like that. And they're going to want access to your computer. And that's really how these things are working. But I'm going to play you, Bob, are you there? Maybe he's out. Maybe he's out changing a tire. I'm just going to share my screen.
Browser hijacker. A browser hijacker is a malware program that alters your computer's browser settings and redirects you to websites you had no intention of visiting. Many browser hijackings come from add-on software, also known as browser extensions, browser helper objects, or toolbars. Often these items may improve your experience on a website by providing interactive content, such as animations. However, some add-on software can cause your computer to stop responding or display content that you didn't want, such as pop-up ads. One of the ways to recognize a browser hijacker, your browser's homepage is overridden, and when you try to open it, you're automatically redirected to the hijacker's website. You can remove a browser hijacker or any add-ons by removing any add-ons you've recently installed on your device. Scan for browser hijackers using a trustworthy antivirus solution. To prevent browser hijackers, stay clear of all third-party software. In your antivirus software, turn on the option to detect potentially unwanted programs, sometimes called PUPS, P-U-P-S. Protect yourself against browser hijackers. There's no better way to recognize, remove, and prevent browser hijackers than to use an antivirus and anti-hijack tool. And the best antivirus, for me, that's spelled A-V-A-S-T.
So now that's what we call a browser hijacker. And this is actually usually through a Chrome extension or some program you've loaded onto your machine. You will come up with this. And what these do is they will, as he said, they will take you to malicious sites or sites that are going to do bad things to you. And so that's a problem. That's called a browser hijacker. But more commonly, and I see this all the time, are what we call browser redirects. And this is nothing that's installed on your computer. You just go to a website, and the website will redirect you to a certain page, and it's usually in a full screen page. And what happens is it'll say on that page, your computer is frozen, you have malware, or there'll be something there and they'll want you to call a phone number, right? And the first thing that people have problems with is they're worried and they're scared, right? They think something's wrong because when they go and they click on anything on that particular page, it won't work. So they think there's something bad in their computer and they think there's something locked up. So the first thing Gail did was she rebooted the computer. So when she rebooted the computer and it starts up, well, of course, her computer starts up and it puts her right back to the same page, because Microsoft does that, and Chrome, they want to put you right back where you left off, right? So they put her right back to the same place. So now, but again, when you go and you click on anything on that page, it won't work. Now, those of us who design web pages, this is a simple thing to do. You put a whole bunch of buttons on the web page, but you don't program the buttons to do anything. So it makes it look like it's locked up or whatever. The only thing you have to do is you have to get out. It's just a tab in your browser that's open. All you have to do is close that tab. That's all you have to do. There's nothing on your computer. This is not a serious problem. The serious problem is if you phone that number and you give access to your computer, and then you're in big trouble. So I've got a little video here. I want to just show you. Okay, in this video, I'll show you how to remove redirect virus on Google Chrome browser easily. Let's get started. I'm going to give you some simple steps and you can follow these. So first of all, open up Google Chrome. Number 2, the 3 little dots at the top there in settings. Come up to the right, click the little 3 little dots in the settings. The next is scroll down and then click on advanced. And then as you scroll down, you'll see reset and clean up right in there, okay? Now click on the restore settings to the original defaults. But this will delete data like your history, your cookies, cache, bookmarks, extensions, so on and so forth. And then hit restart. And restart your settings. And that's how you can get rid of the redirect. But if you can find a way just to close the tab in your browser, if you go to overview, the overview button, let me just maybe just share one more time. Let me just share this one more time with you. If you look down on my system here, if you go down to the bottom, you'll see the task view here. Watch what happens when I bring up the task view. Now you'll see that I actually have, it shows that these are open. All you have to do is close the window where your browser is, which of course I don't want to do that. And you just have to close the tab and it'll all go away. So it's not a serious problem. The redirect ones are not a serious problem. They are worrisome, but please just don't ever phone that number, because you'll be, once you give someone access to your computer, the only option you have is to completely reinstall Windows, wipe everything clean and reinstall Windows. You have no idea what those people will put on there, and it generally is not good. All right, we're up next. I guess it's Hewie.
How to remove photo backgrounds.
Wait a minute.
And blurring
Hold on.
in PowerPoint. I'm Hewie Poplock. Recently, I talked about creating animated GIF files using your PowerPoint. Doing that, I discovered that there are some other things that you can do with PowerPoint that I've been doing outside of PowerPoint and then bringing them in. I want to share with you a couple of those effects that you can do within PowerPoint that you don't have to go outside and work on files. The first one has to do with removing the background of an image. So let's go to an image, and I have one here. And let's say we want just myself and the character from the team of it's the Bradenton Marauders. And I just want his picture with mine and not of the other. We're going to put them somewhere else. So let's play with this a little bit. Now, what you need to do is you double click on the picture to do editing with graphics. When you do, you'll see you've got a whole, it's a picture format section, and one of them is remove background. If I click on that, it now says I can mark areas to keep, mark areas to remove, I can discard all the changes, or once I finish, I can keep my changes. What you're saying is in purple is being eliminated from the picture, and some of that we want in it. So what we're going to do is mark the areas to keep. So it's got a little pen there. So if I just come up here and bring it down here, you're going to see those areas appear. And let's take this part right here. We're going to take out some things here in just a bit. Let's take this part. And we got some more of it. Okay, let's take this. All right, we're getting there. Now let's just get the bottom here of both of us. And it picked that up. Now, I don't want that light in there, or the light pole's not there, and there's a little bit of spot between them. So areas to remove, I'm going to mark that. And bingo, there we go. It looks like we got what we want. Well, no, we're missing his beard, aren't we? We can see over here what we've got and what we don't have. So now I'm going to go back to what we want to keep, and we're going to just go here, and it picked all of that up. It looks like we've got what we want. We look here, and so we're going to come up and we're going to say keep changes. All right, so we got what we want. Now, what are we going to do with it? We're going to take this picture now, and we're going to put a background in it. So what we're going to do now is we're going to add a picture to here by insert pictures from this device. We're going to come down here. Okay, we're going to now choose this picture and insert it. Now, we not only inserted it, we covered up what we had. It gives us some pointers of what we could do, but I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to say, take this picture and send it backwards. Bingo, it made a background. Now I'm going to take this, and I'm going to say, okay, let's see, we're going to bring it right down to the bottom, so we're not cutting anything off. We'll make us just a little bit smaller, so it looks almost realistic. And there we go. So we cut out all of the background of the ball game, and we put us at Benderson Park, and we are to watch rowboat races. The next thing that I wanted to demonstrate is how to blur something. Now let's take this picture. This happened to be at a dinner. Actually, it was in my honor. It was when I was moving a few years ago, and they had a farewell dinner for me. But let's say that my friend in the foreground here is willing to have his picture, but the rest of the people really didn't want to be a part of a picture. So here's what we can do without going out and using a third-party program to blur the picture and then bring it back in. And then if we didn't like it, we had to go and do something else. What we're going to do is, first thing we're going to do is we're here. I'm going to click here, and then I'm going to right mouse click, and I'm going to copy here. So I now have 2 copies of this exact picture. Now on this picture, I am going to crop. Notice when I click crop, I get these little marks in the corners and on the sides. And so we're going to come along the base here. We'll come along, we'll go into here, and we'll come down here. And this part we're going to keep. So we're going to go ahead and crop it. Crop to shape, no, crop, and then click. Okay, so that one's cropped. It's right here. So now we're going to go to the picture in the back, and what we're going to do is, instead of remove background this time, we're going to do some artistic effects. I'm going to click that, and one of them is blur. But what I want to do is I want to show the amount of blurring that we're going to do. So when I clicked adjust it, we've got artistic effects, we've got some artistic effects, and we're going to come here and we're going to click on blur. Now it wants a radius of the blur. In other words, how much of a blur do I want? Well, probably maybe 50, 60%. So let's just slide that up. Let's see what 50 looks like. Don't forget that other picture is in there. So we can go here. So we can go like this. That other picture is in front. We'll get it right where it's supposed to be. So the hand is matching here, and the door is almost there. Enough in the blur that that would look like that. And so we're going to say OK. And so that's what we're going to keep. And so now if we come back up here and then come back down to our picture, we see everybody's blurred but my one friend. So now we've been able to crop, cut out the background and place our picture on a different background. And then we were able to blur most of the picture. We could have blurred the whole thing and put words over it if we wanted to. But in this case, I wanted one part of it not to be blurred and the rest of it to be blurred. We took care of that. So these are 2 effects that you can use PowerPoint. Within PowerPoint, do your photo editing and not have to go out and use any third-party programs and be bothered with it. You can do it very quickly and easily within your PowerPoint while you're working on your presentation.